Now we can be certain that problems with astropathic communication in the Cronus Expanse are no coincidence. There's a warp disturbance in your Waylord, Captain. It is swallowing messages and disrupting familiar routes. This means you need to locate the keywords of the Von Valancius Protectorate as soon as possible. I'm talking about Janus, Dargonis, and Kiava Gamma. Charting new routes so they can be reached and restoring control will be a necessary step. What would the consequence of losing contact with these worlds be? A world deprived of connection to its neighboring systems and the Cronus Expanse infrastructure can only rely on itself, and their capabilities are often limited. For example, Janus does not have a fleet of its own. Pirates, cultists, heretics, Xenos, anyone can prey on the helpless planet. The loss of communication is a threat to your position. A rogue trader with no protectorate to back them only grows weaker by the day. The Voxmaster is entirely correct. You're a rogue trader, Cohh Von Valancius, successor to Theodora Von Valancius, one of the most influential women on the side of the Maw. You're also new to the business. One sec. I need to pour myself another drink stat. Because clearly it's going to be a reading night. Okay, I'll let you guys finish this up while I'm getting a drink. Okay. Any readers in chat? Any readers in chat? That's right. Okay. Tell me about Janus. It's an agri-world. Okay. Janus owes much of its prosperity to the Governor House of Yat. Under its leadership, the world has grown ever more prosperous year after year. Okay, that's awesome. What is Kiava Gamma? An industrial world. Supplies your protectorate with rare mineral resources. Additionally, the planet features an Adeptus Mechanicus Manufactorum that processes materials and prepares them for shipment. Huh. Mr. Stolman neglected to mention that the Kiava Gamma Manufactorium also supplies heavy machinery from forge harvesters to vessel systems and components. Ooh. What do I need to know about Dargonis? The heart and soul of your protectorate. It's where the main administrative resources and storage facilities are, and so is the Von Valancius Palace. If you would like to know, this is where you will publicly accept the title of Rogue Trader. What's your opinion on which world we should deal with first? The Agri-world. I'm concerned about rumors concerning Kiava Gamma. There have been no problems on Janus for many years, but something is very wrong with the industrial world right now. Delay may cost us the entire planet. All three systems are equally vital to the Protectorate. It falls to you to decide which should be brought into the fold before the rest. Oh my god! What? So I vaguely remember this from Alpha. I have to like choose which one to do first. And in classic Owl Cat manner, doing one of them is going to cause horrible problems for the other two. Okay. All right, let's check with our peoples. Okay.
Greetings.
Oh, I'm waiting for you to tell me about your past and explain the strange words of the cultist on Footfall.
Yes, I'm ready. I would ask only one thing of you, Rogue Trader. If I may, I would like to see the chamber of the Sacred Warrant and kneel before the relic touched by the Emperor himself. A difficult conversation lies ahead of us, and I wish to pray by the relic before I lay my soul bare.
You want to lay bare? Okay, let's do it. Argenta drops to her knees, her hands making the sign of the is it okay? I said Aquila. It's Aquila, right? Her eyes are locked to the sweeping signature on the warrant. A simply mundane thing, a mere flourish on a piece of paper. No, it's not Aquila. Akala? Akala? Arkala. Hold up. Hold up. How do you pronounce Aquila? Because that's a word, right? Aquila? Aquila?
Aquila.
What is Aquila?
Aquila. Aquila. Aquila.
Okay, it's Aquila. Yeah, it's Aquila. Damn it, blank. Aquila. That's not right. It's like tequila, but it's Aquila. Aquila. Some people say Aquila? No. Aquila? No. I'm gonna say Aquila. Aquila. Okay. No way you didn't voice act this! Thou see a flaw in me, smite me. If thou knowest a mind, burn me with flames of fury and righteousness. Be it thou, blessed and light, grace me. If thou hearest this plea of mine, bless me with wrath and fury, righteousness. For I breathe by the will of thine, for I live by the law of thine. I carry thy word, O Emperor. I bring solace of servants of thine, and ruin to foes of thine, a fate of terror and righteousness. Dude, is all of the companions not voice acted? Ah! Trader, we need to talk, or rather, I need to tell you something. The truth about how I ended up on Theodora Van Valancius' ship, about the cultists we encountered on Footfall. I'm listening. Please understand I couldn't trust you before. I'll tell you my story and you'll see why. I'll start at the beginning. It's easier to piece everything together that way. Upon arriving in the Expanse and on Footfall, I found no purpose here, only torment. I wasn't needed. The reliquary I had been assigned to safeguard was already well protected by the Reverend, and no one was even trying to defile it. I know, terrible! For all its lawlessness, Footfall respects the worship of the Emperor. That was when Lady Theodora, head of their dynasty, appeared. She became an agent of divine will in a way. It was from her that I learned about a planet recently discovered by her scout, Salus Prime. For a rogue trader, that planet was of little interest, a feral world away from a convenient warp route. But for me, learning about its existence was a revelation. Does it belong to our dynasty? Yes, now the planet is yours by right, but it's not as simple as that. The warp route leading to it was lost. I will explain in due time. May I continue? Yes. Am I bald? Yes. The description of Salus Prime was familiar to me. It seemed very similar to a world from an ancient legend. The legend of Saint Argenta and her ship. Argenta, the living saint. She is my patroness. The order named me after her. She died a millennia ago when the heretics caused her ship to fall from the skies. But even those blasphemers couldn't touch Argenta's ashes or her holy relic, the one star. For the fallen ship, which now serves as the resting place for the saint's remains, would only allow the true righteous to enter. All others would meet their death. Imagine what I felt when this flash of insight came upon me. The world where Saint Argenta's ship fell was merely a vague legend. No one knew of its actual whereabouts, and suddenly I, myself named after the saint, come across this information. I realized at that moment it was important that I must journey to the planet and find the ship, and so I asked Reverend Harmonius to let me go for a time on a personal pilgrimage. So I boarded Theodora's ship and demanded passage to the newly discovered planet Salus Prime. Why do you keep your supposition from the Reverend? I couldn't just come out and tell him. It was important revealed to me personally. Can't you see? If I told the Reverend the honest truth, that I was going on a personal pilgrimage to embolden my spirit. It was really a pilgrimage. It was if Saint Argenta herself had shown me the way, commanding me to undertake this trial. If I'd found the ship and set foot on its decks, if I'd laid my hand on her remains and the relic, it would have been a sign that I truly had been blessed with the saint's fervor. It's understandable. Searching for your destiny for the place in the world is a special matter, a personal one. You either succeed at it or you don't. I thought that I'd been called, that finding that ship was my destiny or my place in the world. Perhaps there's something to that. Imagine Theodora was thrilled with the prospect. Lady Theodora lent her assistance. It was her intention to visit the newly discovered world, and she took me with her. What is the One Star? The One Star is the relic kept by Saint Argenta. I belong to the order Pronatus. We attach particular significance to holy relics. The One Star is one of the lost relics of the past, so mysterious that no one even knows what it is exactly. I hope it's a bolter. Argenta's hagiography at the times calls it a banner or a set of armor or a blessed chain sword. I swear to God, if her ultimate quest item is a frickin' melee weapon. One thing that is certain, it was a beacon of righteousness, and it was lost with Argenta's death. What happens next? Defeat. The ship's augers failed to detect anything of note during orbital scanning. I was expecting this, though. According to the legend, the ship can conceal itself from the naked eye, and only a pilgrim guided by a pure heart can find it. What I didn't expect was an ambush waiting for us on the planet. I landed there with a small unit provided by Theodora. I know St. Argenta's hagiography by heart. I know all the legends about her. I followed their obscure clues, the descriptions of mountains and rivers from millennia-old tales, and I was certain that I had found the way to the ship, and that's when we were attacked. The words we heard in the heretic shrine on footfall, something about the ways doors, please address to some lord, the edge of daybreak, they were the same words as the spoken by the cultist who attacked us in Salus Prime. My whole unit perished. All those honest, brave people I had led to search for the relic. It was only by a miracle I didn't perish along with them. I didn't connect these events at first. The cultists on footfall, the cultists on Salus Prime, the cultists attacking the ship in Kunrad's betrayal. What if all of these are linked in the same chain? What if they've long since infiltrated the ranks of the Von Valancia servants? What if I led those heretics to the sacred planet with my search? There's no need to blame yourself. If the heretics really had wormed their way into the Von Valancia's ranks by then, they would have found the planet even without you going there. I doubt it. No one except me was particularly interested in the planet. Kunrad, on the other hand, he sympathized with me when I first came aboard. He helped arrange an audience with Theodora, supported me in my efforts to visit the planet. I never told him plainly why I wanted to go there, but I imagine that Vulture must have figured out that it was something important, something related to the holy faith of the Imperium. So how'd you manage to escape? Theodora's people received the distress call, came to my rescue, and brought me aboard the ship. I barely remember what happened. When they arrived, I was already severely wounded, fighting back with whatever remained of my strength. I think I shouted that we have to go after them, but they didn't listen. They took me to the shuttle and pulled out. After that, it's all blackness. When I came to, we were in the middle of the warp jump. And that's why you didn't trust me before, correct? Yes, Rogue Trader. I saw with my own eyes how a member of your family showed his true colors as a servant of the Archenemy. I'd already suffered a humiliating defeat at the hands of the cultist and was afraid of another betrayal. I couldn't be forthright with you, so I studied you. What did you find? A man who stood shoulder to shoulder with me and helped eradicate the cultist on footfall. Although my opinion of you started to change even before then, back when we agreed to talk to the orphans and my request, a leader who's willing to honor those who lay down their lives for them and take care of their children is a leader who inspires trust. Do you remember there was a young man whose grief and confusion had driven him to insolence? You didn't turn a blind eye to his misdeed, but you chose the right words to show him the path of redemption. It was harsh but necessary, like the Emperor's truth, like bitter medicine that helps the sick. I learned much about you in that moment, Rogue Trader, and I want to believe I wasn't mistaken in my judgment. Nice. Is it just me or the music a little loud? Is it? Oh, we turned it all the way back up. Thank you. So is that better? Just to clarify, you were wounded, so you never found St. Argenta's ship, is that right? Yes, I rushed to Theodora the moment I could walk again and insisted on going back to defend the relic from the heretics, but I was told the warp had destroyed the old route to the planet and that plotting a new one would take a great deal of time and effort. In any event, the route was lost and all knowledge of it died in the attack on the ship along with the old navigator. Now we have a new lead. The data that we collected in the cultist shrine on footfall. I don't care what the retrobate we executed said. There must be a way to track them down. Tell me, Rogue Trader, will you help me in this undertaking? Will you help me find the great relic and return to the Imperium? There's nothing I wouldn't do to reclaim a sacred object for the people of the Imperium. If it's important to you, I will help. Argenta walks up and places her hand on your shoulder. So be it, Rogue Trader. As I stand here before the warrant, the embodiment of the Emperor's will marked by his own hand, I vow I will not relent until the holy relic has been returned and the heretics punished. And may the light be with us both on this path. Yeah! All right. Okay. Great. Abelard, do we have anything new to say with you?
Lord Captain?
Nope.
Lord Captain.
Lord Captain?
Lord Captain.
Ha! Woo! So now we can trade with all these people from the comfortable spot on our bridge. Stupendous. We'll take that. Okay. Repulsor shield. Do we have anything for you? Yo? Oh, nothing. Man, we gotta get more stuff for this guy. I want to get ship stuff. I want to get ship stuff so bad. All right. Do we have anything new with you? Nope. Of. How you doing, Abel? Good with Abel.
The only sign. May.
Good with Pascal. Where is our new girl? Jae.
Allow me to thank you again for helping me with the cargo, Shireen. I am sure the Ashmags who squirreled away my goods won't give up so easily, and I'll hear more about their scheming yet. Let's strike a deal, Shireen. I will watch your back if you do me a favor and watch mine. Well, enough jokes. Is there something you wanted?
Is there some business you wish to discuss?
Oh, Shireen, I did manage to spark your interest. Allow me to invite you to a more private place. My words are meant for
I
your
swear to
ears
God,
alone.
if you invite me to a place without voice acting, I don't care! Oh. Shireen, the Exalted One himself, has brought us together the day you crossed Vadim's threshold. He led us to the cargo and gave her its blessing in return. Do you know what the people in my world say when such a thing happens? What's gained is to be shared with your neighbor. Oh. Oh. What? What? Whenever the wielder scores a critical hit with a single shot attack, they gain an additional attack this turn? Whoa. I'm sharing what I've gained with you. Please accept these humble gifts in honor of our wildly successful, though suddenly struck friendship. Thank you. I know you'd appreciate the Xenos master their craft. I do. I want to discuss with you as related to business. You know I sell Xeno artifacts to interested Imperial subjects and Imperial trinkets to Xenos. Business is going well. My network runs even without my participation, but when it comes to expansion, that's a wall that I hit. Rivals envious of my success, Falco especially. I'm certain the theft of the cargo is his doing, but I can never predict what that Ashmag will do next. And while the Imperium Authority may be fragmented with the Expanse, I can crack down on people in my profession any moment. Go on. If the rogue trader put in a good word with the servants of the Adeptus Administratum, I can become an official trade representative of the Imperium. Just imagine it. A little scrap of paper will offer me my agent's protection against Ashmag schemes far better than any refractor field. All I have to do is stop by the Administratum Palace. How do I benefit from this? Besides being in the receipt of my eternal gratitude, won't it be beneficial to have someone in your retinue with the weight of authority behind them rather than just another pawn? Okay. You have no complaints about our friendship, Shireen. I may not be a trade representative of the Imperium just yet, but I can still help you with whatever you need. You must have some faction in mind that you would like to establish relations with. Oh. The Adeptus Mechanicus. Yo, nice. It's basically loot. This is a loot character. Okay. Cool, man. Oh, I like her. I think we're gonna get along just fine. All right. Hey, Dimitri. All right. Now I think we need to talk to her more.
May the Exalted One protect you. Have you grown bored with our little talk, Shireen?
Tell me about the dark side of the Cronus Expanse. You don't look like a typical smuggler.
No truer words have ever been said. I'm far more exciting than some small-time peddlers from Footfall. Allow me to introduce myself properly. I am Jae Amira Fatqin Tamiri Ash Ifrit, the 12th daughter of the Lord of Ifrit. a distant world at the fringes of the Imperium. The youngest child is destined to become a bargaining chip in the family's political games. But I was unwilling to accept such a fate, and wanted to choose what to become and which path to follow. When I learned the Exalted One watches over hundreds of other worlds amidst distant stars, I understood there was an entire world of opportunities beyond Ifrit. All I had to do was break the familial bonds tying me down and escape the planet. Which I did a long time ago.
Why did you choose to come here?
The Keronis Expanse. A gorgeous name, isn't it? But this backwater wasn't my original destination when I escaped Sherin. Oh no, it was the rumors of incredible freedom that brought me to the Keronis Expanse. Freedom that is generously bestowed upon everyone who can survive in these parts. All doors are open here. You can become a saint, a mogul, a kingmaker, or anyone you like, really. Here, hard work pays off. Unless you're used to lying by the roadside and complaining instead of toiling for the good of your soul, glory, wallet, or whatever floats your boat. I'm used to working hard, and so I found my blessing.
How'd you escape from Ifrit?
I convinced my father I personally wished to oversee the inspection of imported goods. I had to get experience so I wouldn't bring shame on our family, didn't I? I made friends with traders, missionaries, and soldiers at the port. I listened to their stories, studied the charts, learned what documents I had to forge to escape the planet. A kind word here, a shiny coin there. And here I am, in the iron belly of a ship, braving the void in search of a new life.
Judging by your implants, you've had quite a few close shaves over the years.
Consider it a mark of my trade. This year, Xenos. Dumb-headed orcs. Who knew that we weren't the only ones to get tempted by the wreck of that raider? As for this treasure, I received it as a reward for a life that had been just a little too good. I was in a hurry to get to the Adeptus Amasacus after the Exalted One blessed me with immense wealth. I was 2 backstreets away from the den when a pathetic ashmag attacked me, envious of somebody else's fortune.
She drags her thumb across her throat. You're familiar with implants like the one that has replaced Jae's neck. It is merely one part of a massive augmentation replacing the internal organs. A slit throat could not have been the cause for installing such a sophisticated device. Oh.
All relationships are based on mutual trust. That goes for business too.
Tell me of your background again.
The youngest child is All relationships are based on mutual trust. That goes for business too.
Get off my ship. Tell me of the dark side.
The dark side is the real Keronis Expanse, if you ask me. But what do you want to know about it, Sherin?
Adam, how's the game? Awesome. I'm absolutely loving it. Yep. How do they do things on Footfall?
Dynastiers drink with criminals. Rogue traders strike deals with the Casbalica, and dozens of ships stop off for a welcome break from a long voyage. Is there a more beautiful place in the entire Imperium? The Emperor is merciful to the meek and the powerful alike. There's a job for everyone as long as they have a head on their shoulders. And if you feel like talking to him in person, the statue of the Exalted One can be seen from any asteroid. You can pray to your heart's content.
Tell me about the Casbalica mission.
An ancient crime cartel that originated with the first settlers of the Calixis sector. It is run by shadowy clans with robber barons at the helm. Cross their path and you risk making enemies all over the Keronis Expanse, or even the entire Imperium. As for the agents, they are just shameless, greedy scum. Every third person on Footfall is a Casbalican. But that doesn't mean all that rotten filth is acting together. I've been set up more than once just so some Casbalican can get one over on his rivals. And yet, the Casbalica is generous to its customers, if you can afford it. Anything can be obtained, organized, and transported for the right price. The customer is always right, unless they happen to be a rat. In which case... Forgive me, Sherin. I'm not too fond of the ones I am forced to share the market with. Especially since they are nowhere near as good as me.
Are you one of the Casbalika's robber barons?
What gave you such an outrageous idea? Was it my immaculate garment? My gorgeous jewelry? Do not worry, Shireen. I will let you know once I become a baroness, should the Exalted One will it. Just imagine the strong and fruitful alliance that could be forged between a rogue trader and the mastermind of the Casbalika.
I'm working on it. How to become an agent?
It's not hard to do on footfall. I spent a year working for good old Christo. He was a brave soldier who gave up the ghost in a scuffle with orcs.
Zip it up,
and
chat.
then took over his business. Having a good head on your shoulders
Hey, hooray.
and keeping the Exalted One in your heart helps to establish new contacts quickly. Eventually, I gathered together a group of honest and loyal people. And it only took a few successful contracts for the Casbalika to take notice. I quickly settled on footfall and started dispensing my wisdom to my protégés and subordinates. I lost the taste for getting my hands dirty.
Tell me about the cold trade.
It really is simple, Shireen. The Casbalika runs the Imperium's black market, offering special goods to those who can afford their services. Yes, I am talking about Xeno artifacts too. Alien weapons, technology, sometimes even certain kinds of living creatures. Unlike the rogue traders whose sacred warrants make them immune even from the laws of the Exalted One, Casbalican agents are used to hiding and covering their tracks. Nobody wants to draw unwanted attention, no matter who might take an interest. Especially now that the Coronis Expanse has a warrior of the Golden Throne as its watchman. Why not? The decision is yours, Shireen.
Tell me about your business in the Coronis Expanse.
My trade means knowing the right people and non-people, having the right connections, and making sure the precious goods find their way into the hands of my no less precious customers. My wisdom includes the knowledge of the enemies of humankind, be they Xenos or the lowest scum of the Imperium, as well as the latest knowledge about how they charge for any particular curio at the footfall market. Not even the most cunning Ajri will deceive you as long as I am with you, Shireen. I promise you that. Whatever I have can be yours too, if your unfathomable wealth isn't enough for you already, I mean.
I can ask this, but I know the answer. Do you do business with the enemies of humanity?
It has been known to happen. After years of dealing with Xenos, I've learned their customs, and even got a grasp of their language. Except they cringe whenever I start speaking. Arrogant sods. They dislike even our voices, but they never turn away our valuables. Then again, I'm used to seeing sour faces. In this trade, the easily offended go out of business.
Hold on.